Reverend Jackson, hold on one second. Armstrong, I got to ask you this question. Right now, we do not have a Surgeon General. You would think the Surgeon General will be the person who's out there leading it. It's because the Surgeon General nominee, Dr. Vivek Murthy, who was appointed by the President November 14th, he believes in gun control. The National Rifle Association has said we're going to campaign against anybody who votes for him. He had a Senate confirmation hearing in February. No action thus far. 10 Senate Democrats said they were going to vote against him because they were scared of the NRA. This, to me, all speaks to how politics gets in the way. We should have a doctor who is leading this charge in the country, but we don't have a Surgeon General because of politics.
You know, listen, if we had a Surgeon General, I don't think there's a huge bar for HHS and for us to understand that Ebola is a serious virus. And we have no idea how many people have been affected thus far that man came in contact with. And as much compassion as I have for Mr. Duncan and his family, he never should have been in this country in the first place. He knew he was exposed to Ebola when he was in his native country, but yet he came here out of fear. What should be going on is that we should think about the American lives who may be exposed to this, and we should think about shutting down our borders and our doors to those countries where this Ebola virus continues to expand. And they're talking about the fact that 1.2 million people can die by January. This could be a crisis that we may not understand. And Americans, our hospitals are not prepared to handle this in such great volume because this is not something that we face.
Lauren and Rock.
That's a view that you would never have if it was the other way around. If it was an American in another country who was sick, you would expect that American to be treated. So that view, that view that you have is ridiculous. And if it was the other way around, if it was the other way around, you wouldn't have that view.
Rock.
You know, there is every story we see on the news as of late, like 2014 has been a bad year for black folks. Every story we see points to a devaluation of black life in this country. Reverend Jackson, what are we going to do about it?
Reverend Jackson?
We're called to act. At first, our analysis must be clear. We're not clear that he knew he had Ebola. That's not clear. We know he helped a woman who was pregnant, 7 months pregnant, to get medical care, and she died. That's a noble thing. That was no evidence that she had Ebola at that time. He had gotten his tickets before that even occurred. He came to the country and passed the test. When asked, had he been in contact with someone with Ebola, he said no, which means he was telling the truth. It's not, so he's just calling him a liar. If he thought he had it, he would have come home and lain with his wife-to-be because they had a contagious disease. He did not think that.
Gotcha.
We should not say that. We should not discredit him so as to justify us getting less than the best medical care. He deserved the best medical care. He did not get it. He got it late, and he died. And that's not right.
Reverend Jackson, Zachary, I certainly appreciate it. Thank you so very much for joining us on this topic. To our panel as well, thank you so very much. Coming